Crawl space, I can't crawl. Crawl space, I'm invading your space. Crawl space, I can't crawl.
Hey, it's Kral Space. I'm Kim Kral. I am reporting to you not live in my closet. Hey everybody. Oh boy, how are we doing? I am okay. I tested positive for the virus still a couple of days ago. Which I love the non-helpful people. I understand that I may test positive for a while. I understand that, guys. I love that some people are like, you probably still don't have it, but you might just test positive for a while. I still feel like garbage, so I'm probably just going to listen to what my body is telling me and not what some dude on the internet says. I've had a couple of Facebook meltdowns. Actually, I had one big Facebook meltdown. I was so angry. It was like, it like first started with a girl that God, it's just a complicated feeling. I consider a really dear friend once upon a time, but just her actions in the pandemic and kind of prior to it, I don't have humans in my life like that anymore. But she posted a thing on Facebook that was just really, really tone deaf. This is also a person who has not given a fuck the whole time, like has traveled around, hasn't quarantined at all, no lockdown at all. In fact, like 3 days after in March when we got our first stay-at-home orders, she texted me and was like, "Hey, I'm having a party. Do you want to come?" And I was like, we're on lockdown. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to still live my life." I'm trying to avoid trash talking, but I was furious at something she had posted a couple of days ago. That was just basically like, I'm really healthy, and if you were really healthy, you wouldn't get the virus, and like we all need to live our lives. Like just ignorant BS, right? So like that like set me off, and then I was scrolling through Facebook, and like 3 nurse friends of mine, one isn't a nurse, she just works in the hospital, and then 2 are ER nurses in the COVID unit, and they're just like begging people to like please take this seriously and stay home. Like they're working nonstop. The beds are full. Like the hospitals are fucking full. And I lost it. I wrote a very long, angry Facebook post. If you missed it, it's up. Actually, it ended up having like a really good response, except for like there was one woman on there who was like, "I hope you feel better, but were you wearing a mask?" And then I went to her page, and she is an anti-masker. So I'm like, yeah, I was wearing a mask, and I wanted to engage, but I was like, I can't engage with stupid people, because like I know that she took me wearing a mask and getting COVID to like help her narrative that masks don't work, and it's just like the government or whatever the fuck I was just like, I'm not engaging in that. Like there's a billion ways I could have gotten it. Yeah, I wear a mask, but I also worked in a bar where I was washing a lot of dishes. I'm not real great at not touching my eyeballs, you know what I mean? Like, or I'm not real great at not itching my nose after I wash a bunch of, like I've not been good at that. So there's a billion ways, and it's preventative. The mask is preventative. Like, you fucking moron. This is also a girl, the last time I saw her, we are old friends, not friends, like old acquaintances. Like she's a nice enough girl, but last time I saw her, she was defending Brock Turner. So take what you like from her opinions, because they're stupid, right? For those of you who don't remember who Brock Turner is the white swimmer, I believe he was, from Stanford that raped a girl behind a dumpster a couple of years ago and got 6 months in jail and was out in like 3. The judge felt bad for him because he didn't want a few minutes of bad decision making to ruin the rest of his life. Yes, that is a real story. I know everyone knows it. And then not weirdly, it's on brand for our country, but the same exact story was happening on the other side of the country, but with a black guy, and that guy got like 10 years. And it's so funny, like the media was showing both pictures, and Brock Turner was it was like his Stanford swimming picture with his like blazer and this like, you know, all-American boy, and the black guy was like his mugshot. Tell me there's not racism in this fucking country. Tell me. But yeah, that girl, the last time I saw her was she was defending Brock Turner and then also was defending Office grab ass. She's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, we're all so sensitive now. Like, we all, like, it's fine. Like, if that guy grabs my ass, like, I don't, whatever. Like, it's just, like, I think we're just a little too sensitive. Yeah, she tried to be like, were you wearing a mask? And then I went to her Instagram, and it looks like she's an anti-masker. Fucking wild. But yeah, so I tested positive again, and my buddy who is a doctor, he not helpful. It was not a helpful statement. I know he was trying to be helpful, but he was like, yeah, a lot of people are testing positive, they're, you know, after they are fine. And then he said a couple medical things as to why. And then he goes, or you still have the virus. So it really could go either way. I was like, there's no helpfulness in that statement at all. Like, you either have the virus or you don't have the virus. Who knows? I do know is that fuck, I'm still struggling with my how I'm feeling. It's really hard. It's really frustrating. It's Sunday I woke up and I felt better, and I was like, woo, I feel better. And for like a shining 30 minutes, I felt awesome. It was probably all the dancing that I shouldn't have done because I got so excited that I finally felt better. And then I got real dizzy, and then my whole body started hurting, and then I was really hot. And then I was like, I gotta lay down. And then I had to lay down the rest of the day. And then yesterday I woke up and I was feeling okay. So I was like, all right, well, the day before I was feeling good and I overdid it. So I was just like, okay, well, today I'm just going to take it really easy when I'm feeling okay. And then I slept all day. Like, I woke up at like 6 and I was like, I do not know what I did today. And I don't think I did anything. And then today I got up at 4 a.m. If you talk to other people who have COVID, sleep is really hard. I don't know why. I guess when you're regularly sick, like, shit's harder at night too. But yeah, sleep is really hard. So I'll get like maybe 5 hours a night, and then I'll wake up really early, and then I'll lay there for a while, and then sometimes I'll just get up and then I'll fall asleep a couple of hours throughout the day. This thing is just rough, man. It's really rough. And yeah, so I got up this morning at like 4 a.m. and then around 7 a.m. My head just started really, really pounding just all day, just a massive headache. And now I'm just dizzy and hot again. And you're probably like, why the fuck are you recording this? Because I feel like my mental capacity or my mental stability right now is not great. It's not, it's really hard not to feel like a failure or have shame. I've been sick for almost a little over a month. A month. On the 7th is when I started feeling like I had a cold, and then the cold wouldn't go away, and then here we are, right? So a month I've been feeling like this, and it's really defeating. So my mental capacity, stability isn't great. I'm having a hard time with this, and so. Like, tiny goals are kind of making my mood good, helping my mood. You know what I'm trying to say. So I was like, recording a crawl space is a small goal that has helped my mood, and talking about it is also. One thing I've found is there's not a lot of information out there about people who have it. Like, there's a lot of information out there, like if you need to go to the ER, people on ventilators, people who die. Like, there's a lot of statistics for all of that. When I tested positive again, I texted my friend who works in a COVID unit, and she was like, she goes, it's not uncommon for you to test positive, and it's not uncommon for you to still be sick a month later. And she just was like, it's going to be the long haul. And she basically told me that the main thing is my mental stability is the one thing that I really need to focus on, because she said it could be a couple of months, and my mental stability is one of the things that people aren't talking about. And I have girlfriends who are very supportive. Of course, I always talk about how supportive they are and how wonderful. But they rightfully so, was just like, we don't have this experience, and I'm realizing that a lot of people aren't talking about this. This sucks, man. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people aren't, but I've been Googling and reading tweets and stuff like that from people who are going through it or went through it. And my friend who lives in Michigan has it along with her entire family, including toddlers. And I don't know, just talking with people who have it and struggling with it has just been like night and day for my mental stability. But yeah, I had a bit of a meltdown on Facebook. I'm kind of proud of it. Actually, I got like 25 shares or something like that, and got a whole lot of comments and a lot of like, yeah, like you like this needs to be said. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. And here I am. And I last week I felt like the episode wasn't very good, and I was really hard on myself because I wasn't all energized. And I think that's just kind of how it's going to be for a little bit. I'm always going to be honest in where I'm at, and that's part of the podcast. Let's see here. Yeah, and one of the things that's just really like in the back of my mind always is that like the long-term effects of this shit. Like, what if I'm one of those that like apparently I'm one of the ones that gets to be sick with it for a while, but I'd prefer to be one of the ones that gets to be sick with it for a while as opposed to one of the ones on the ventilator or dead. So I'm just like trying to be grateful, and that we're at stay-at-home orders. It's looking like the government might help us pay our bills soon. How fucking wild is that? How do we get to a point where one guy has this much power? Like Mitch McConnell, how does that guy have this much power? He's like, I want this crazy conservative, religious, wild, non-science believing woman to be in the fucking Supreme Court. And then 4 years ago, no, I don't want, like 9 months before the election, I'm not going to even hear Obama's. And now he's like, I'm not going to do a stimulus package unless like these 5 things that are very clearly for kickback from corporations have to be in it. It's like, I thought the whole government was based on checks and balances to avoid one guy having all this power. And I'm laughing a little bit just because it's just so ludicrous that like, how is this happening? How? Oh boy, that took a lot out of me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm recording. I don't know what's going to come out. I have written down very specific things I'm going to talk about just because I'm not sure if I don't know, my brain, like the brain fog is real too. There's just a lot of shit. Like it's like one thing leaves and a new thing. And I've been congested and my nose has been plugged up for literally a month. I had no idea I had this much snot. I also, like, can we talk about the sense of smell that I lost? Like that's still wild. Like I can smell things now if I like get up in there, you know what I mean? But like I can't, like I have to like make an effort to smell things. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, you know, like if you have a cat and you don't clean out the litter box for a few days, you notice that smell, right? I mean, I've actually been pretty diligent about cleaning out the litter box just because I'm trying to like maintain some kind of tiny goals every day. So the litter box is but like, okay, so I was going to say my armpit kind of smelled earlier today. That's gross, but whatever. So I was smelling my armpit and I had to like really get in there and I was like, oh, I forgot to put on deodorant. I showered last night and I forgot to put on deodorant. And so, you know, like not like smelly, but like, just like the sun. But not the sun. You know when you've been in the sun all day and you smell like the sun? But so your armpit doesn't have anything on, whatever. But I had to like get up in there. And normally I can smell it. I don't know how to describe the no smelling thing. It's real weird. Like every morning I write 3 pages when I wake up. I really recommend it. I got it from The Artist's Way, which I'm doing now. I'm currently in week 2. If you've never done The Artist's Way, it's a 12-week program to help one unblock or become more creative, or just become more creative. Whether if you are creative, whether if you want to be more creative, whether if you're a blocked person, it just makes, and I did it like 5 years ago and it was really transformative. And one of the things is you get up every morning and you write 3 pages. And it can be, and it doesn't have to be about anything. There's no wrong way to do it. It's like literally just like brain drain. Like I've written, like, I have no idea what to write. I'm so tired. Like I have bitched about the same dude for like 3 weeks straight. And then and then suddenly it goes away, or suddenly there's a solution or something. Like, so I've been doing these for years, right? 3 in the morning. And it's kind of my meditation. It's how I am able to like get get shit out of my brain. My brain is really loud. And so, but why I bring it up is I sit at a little table, and I light a candle, and I write. And I didn't do the morning pages the first. Man, I feel like this is fine, right? We're all having a good time. I'm like, what are we talking about? I'm so drained, guys, but I'm proud to be doing this, and I feel like I'll get my groove back. I would give anything to feel normal again. I feel like I don't even know what that feels like anymore. Like, if my nose isn't plugged, it's so unplugged, it burns to breathe. I know that sounds weird. I don't even know how to describe that. Like, it's just like, and I'm like, I don't know if that just means that I've had snot in there for a month, so it's hard. So the inside of my nostrils are just like sensitive now, and so breathing hurts. I think I made that up. I don't know. So if like there isn't snot in there and it's like clear, it like burns. I would give anything. And like, I'm just like really winded. I don't know. I would give fucking anything to feel like a regular human again, a regular Kim Kral again, you know? But so I stopped in most of November, because most of November I was just, laid out. But starting December 1st, so like 8 days ago, I got up and I was like kind of not forcing myself to do these morning pages, but yeah, kind of forcing myself just to show up on the page, just to kind of, I don't know, help with my mental stability and what's going on with me mentally. And I light a candle, right? And I can't smell the candle. I always get specifically like a really good smelling candle, because it's just a nice, like self-care thing in the morning. You light a little candle and I call it letters to God, I like universe, source, whatever you call. But like if I get it out, if I have something going on in my life and I need help, I write about it ad nauseum, and eventually I really recommend it. And a solution just fucking comes. I don't know, but I can't smell this candle. Now I can, if I pick up the candle and put my whole nose in there, then I can smell the candle. But just sitting there, it's just wild. I don't know. I get a lot of questions about my sense of smell. The taste, I love this, the after school special at Kitchen 24. If you live in Hollywood, it's an all night, well, it was an all night 24-hour like diner, right? My best friend's husband owns it. And it's delightful. It's fucking delightful. And there's an after school special, which is tomato soup and grilled cheese. And I've gotten it twice in the time that I've had COVID, because it was like a comfort food for me. And the first time I had the tomato soup, I didn't like it. I was like, what the fuck? This is usually like the best tomato soup ever, right? Ever. And I'm like, oh, because things just don't taste the way they do. And then I got it the second time, and it was a little bit better. It was like 2 weeks later, so I think my taste buds are coming back, but it was like spicy. And I'm like, oh man. So it's just a lot of random shit. So I don't know. I'm going to say it again. Just wear a mask and stay in as much as you can. I know this sucks. It sucks for everybody. My friend was talking about how she took her kid to see Santa Claus a couple of days ago, and the kid cried because he hasn't gotten to do anything fun all year. This sucks for everyone. And you being like, but I want to live my life. You sound like an asshole. We get it. You lack empathy. You don't give a fuck about other people. Like, there's the whole business side and like the small businesses. Like, that's the fucking government. Should be like, we pay taxes. What's happening? I don't know, man. I don't know. So, I don't know. I did want to, so my cousin and I, like I said, one of the coolest parts about this whole thing, my eyes are so itchy right now. One of the coolest parts one of the highlights of getting COVID, that's a sentence I've been saying. One of the highlights of getting COVID is that, my cousin Maggie and I have talked every single day. When I first tested positive, she had texted me randomly something. I think I said this last week. And so I was like, haha, I have COVID. And she was like, whoa, what? And then she was like, do you mind if we check in every day? And then it's just, and then it's just turned into us talking every day. And it's been so fucking lovely. Like, we're laughing, we know each other pretty well, but we're getting to know each other on other levels. And like, and it's nice to have that. I talk about my family. I have a hard time sometimes with family, especially with how my parents were. I don't have parents, so I've lived as an adult, never having to really like check in with anybody. Like people usually have, like their mom wonders where they're at least once a week. I mean, truthfully, I have no idea. I have no idea what normal parents do. My father was too codependent and too attached when we had a relationship. I didn't, and when he was alive, obviously. So I don't know. I just don't know what a healthy parent kid relationship looks like. One time my dad, I was like 22 and I just moved to LA, and my dad called me my cell phone like 15 times one afternoon. And then when I was working, like I was at work, and I called him back and I was just like, Dad, I'm at work. And he was like, this is how it's going to go. You're going to give me your work phone number, and you're going to give me Sarah's phone number, who was like my only friend in Los Angeles at the time. I was like, and you're going to give me those two phone numbers, so if I can't get a hold of you, I could call them. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that at all. You're not getting those phone numbers at all. And then he told me that if I didn't give him those phone numbers, I no longer had a father. And then he hung up on me and didn't speak to me for a while. So like and then my mom, she doesn't, I don't mean, I try not to put her down. She's just really mentally ill. It's not that I don't think she doesn't care what I'm doing, where I'm at. I just think she's incapable of that. So she's never, I don't even think she knows where I live, truthfully. So I've just never had a tether. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people have like, a mom they call once a week. I guess I don't really know what the rules are. I'm making that very abundantly clear, but it was nice. It's nice to have a daily check-in to tell someone how I'm feeling. And I'm really appreciative that she's been that for me. So why I bring her up too is, so the other day we were talking and she's like, I do a Neti Pot every day. And the Neti Pot, if you don't know what that is, it's a game changer when you have a cold. It's like a little teapot that you fill with hot water and then this like saline salt powder, and then you mix it and then you put it up your nostrils, and it goes through, it rinses through your nostrils. It's very unpleasant, but it like cleans out your sinuses, and it's supposed to help you get better. Wild thing is I tried to do that when I first got COVID, and I thought I just had a cold. So you lean forward and you put the little spout in one nostril, and then it like goes up and around, and then it pours out the other nostril. Nothing came out. It went up and it didn't come back. Like all the water went up and it didn't come back. And I was like, whoa. And at the time I was like, maybe I just have a sinus infection or just a really bad cold. I had COVID. It was COVID. What is a little scary is I tried to do it again today. Same thing. It did not come back. There's no water so I don't know what that's about, but I probably won't do it again until I start to feel better. But my cousin does it every day, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna, she boils water, because apparently you're supposed to not use the tap water, so now I'll have to do that. Because I guess like 0.5%, she always knows this shit, like 0.5% chance that the tap water will get up into your brain and kill you. She's like, she just knows all that shit. She's that woman. She composts too. When I asked her what she does with her coffee grains, she says, I put it in my compost. She lives in Portland. And I was like, oh, compost? I've never done that. And she looked at me like I spit out a tooth. I was like, oh, I still have never done that. But so she does it in the shower. And I was like, ew, the shower? And she goes, yeah. And then I remembered that I was like, oh, I guess I don't know why I'm being so, I was like, I pee in the shower every day, and I brush my teeth in the shower every day, and I don't know why using the Neti Pot and snotting on myself is a below me. And I told her that, and she goes, you pee in the shower and brush your teeth every day? She goes, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it was just, I did try it in the shower. I didn't enjoy it. I think I do like to brush, I like to brush my teeth in the shower and then put it all in my mouth and then just like spit it out all over myself, and then it just runs down my boobs, and I think it's very funny. This is probably why I'm single. Actually, that's not why I'm single. That's awesome. And if I find the one, which I will, he'll find that funny. I mean, he probably won't watch me do it. Like, I've done gross things in the shower. A couple weeks ago when I was trying to take a bath, I can't believe I'm telling you this, is so gross. Oh, I'm doing a TMK. Remember too much information from the beginning of the podcast? TMK. TMK though is sort of just like the whole podcast. So I was brushing my teeth in the bathtub, right? So I'm sitting down. So basically I was trying to shower, and then I got really I got really dizzy and sick. I have COVID, okay? So I sat down and then I just decided to make it a bath for a little bit just while I felt better. So I'm brushing my teeth and I spit it out and then I had to pee. So I peed while I was in the bath. Now listen, I peed while I was in the bath knowing full well I was going to get up and shower, like wash myself in the shower afterwards. Like I don't pee in the bathtub if I'm just taking a bath. But like if you're going to get, I can't believe I just told you that. I can. I feel like that's not the weirdest thing I've ever confessed to you. But yeah, the Neti Pot is awesome, but I guess I can't do it right now. I don't know why. Oh man. I did tell you last week that I was going to tell you, the kidney stone story. If you remember, the last time I went to the ER, I went to a meeting in the morning. It was a Sunday morning. Oh, it was Sunday. It was Super Bowl Sunday. That's why I know it was Sunday. It was Super Bowl Sunday. It was the Rams versus the Patriots, right? It's Rams versus the Patriots. And I'm at the meeting and I'm sitting with a girlfriend. My meetings, my ACA meetings. At the time, I think it was Al-Anon. I don't think I had found ACA yet because this is like 4 years ago or 3 years ago. So I was in Al-Anon, and I'm sitting in the Al-Anon meeting. It's a massive meeting, and I had drank coffee with real milk in it, and I don't drink a lot of real milk anymore. It makes my tummy hurt, right? And so I'm sitting there, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to like really poop, and I wasn't super excited about pooping because there's like a bathroom and there's like 60 people, plus there's a guy who's also an ACA and like he was in that meeting, and I have currently, I haven't seen him since the pandemic, but such a crush on him. Like I want to marry this dude. He's so healthy and hot, like just like so like emotionally and spiritually healthy and just hot. But like, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to shit. And that fucking guy is probably gonna be in line behind me because that's just how my life works with pooping. Like, it's like my body is like, all right, we gotta poop. I know we're home right now, but I would prefer it if we do it in the most embarrassing way possible. I really enjoy watching you talk yourself out of these situations. I don't know why my body turns on me like that. But so we're sitting in the Al-Anon meeting and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to shit. And so I go to the bathroom and I don't have to poop, but I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to throw up. So I walk outside and I tell the girl who's going to give me a ride home, who I'm friends with, I was like, yo, girl, I think I'm going to vomit. I got to go home. She takes me home and she's like laughing and like whatever. And I was just like, I don't mean to be a dick, but can we make this like a quiet time? Because like I can't, like I was like, it was like I was in a lot of pain. And so I go home and I'm like real dizzy and real sick. And then I'm like, all right, maybe if I shower, I'll shower. So I took off my clothes and then I just started puking. And because the pain was so bad, like, and it was like my side. So it was at this point, I was like, uh-oh, I think my appendix is about to burst. Fuck! I remember just being like, fuck, I think my appendix is going to burst. And so I'm puking. And then I go like, and then it got dark. And then I started thinking about like, I'm like, what if this is like stomach cancer or something? And like at the time I was like, I don't know, the height of my depression, the height of just like shit going, like the height of my mental breakdown, right? It was like right before, no, it was like, it was right after I had tried not to kill myself, right? I didn't try, but like how I, like right after I'd like pulled myself out of not wanting to kill myself. So my mental stability wasn't great anyway. So I'm puking and like I'm starting to talk to, my maker, my higher power. And I'm just like, look, man, this is stomach cancer. Like I'm jumping off the building. Like I've already been through a lot in my life. I don't think I can go through that again. Like I can't go, or stomach, I've never been, but I don't think I can go through another fucking hardship. I just can't do it. So if it's stomach cancer, I'm going to kill myself. Got it? Cool. Which is so dark. And like, I get it. Like back then I understand like who I am now. Like I have a lot left to do. I'm very excited. I have so many goals and so many things I'm excited to see in the world. And so that's got me through COVID, right? Like, thank God, thank God I've done the work I've done. I've met the people I've done. I've had the people that were not good for me fuck off. You know what? Like, thank God. Because I think COVID would have been a lot harder to deal with. I got kidney stones and I was like, I'm killing myself. So I finally get in the shower and then I come out, I puke some more. Now I'm just puking a bile, right? Because I'm not eating. I'm in so much pain. So it's the Super Bowl. And I'm like, all right, I really want to go watch the Super Bowl. So I call my best friend Katie and I'm like, all right, I think I need to go to the ER. My appendix might be exploding. I don't know. I've never felt this much pain in my life, but I think I want to go watch the game first. So you think maybe like I'm going to put on my eyelashes and then we'll go watch the game and then will you take me to the ER? And she was like, I think we need to go to the ER now. And I was like, all right, I'll put on my eyelashes and then we'll go for halftime. And then at halftime, you can take me to the ER. And she goes, yeah, I'm taking you to the ER now. So we go to the ER because she was right. I know that's crazy. I'm once again, different person, like 3 years ago, different person at the time. And we go to the ER. They admit me right away, which is way different than when you're like, hey, I have COVID and I can't breathe. I still can't believe that. I don't think I had chest pains, but I'm pretty positive. I was like, I think my appendix is going to explode. And my left, like, whatever. So they take me in there. This is where it gets really, I'm moving around in my closet, sorry. This is where it gets kind of embarrassing. So I go in there and the guy is like, all right, I'm going to need you to pee in this cup. And I'm like, and it gets kind of gross too. I'm sorry in advance. I'm not really sorry, but I feel like you should say that. Whatever, I'm not sorry. So I go and I pee in the cup and my pee has a bunch of blood in it. Now, if you're a woman, that happens when you get your period. So I'm thinking, I'm like, and I'm so out of it and so much pain. I'm just like, fuck. On top of everything, I'm getting my period now. So I find a tampon. I put the tampon in. And then I go out and I hand the guy my bloody pee. And I'm like, sorry, man. I guess I started my period in there. Sorry about that. And he was like, it's all right. So then he takes my blood. And then I point to the blood. And at this point, they gave me drugs, so I was feeling a little better now. I point to the blood, and then I point to my pee, and I go, hey, that looks like my pee. And the guy looks down at the blood and looks at the pee, and then he just looked horrified. But then he started laughing. I kill comedically in the ER. I kill. Except for this time with the COVID, because I couldn't breathe. So I was not interested in making jokes. I just needed to breathe. I had some drugs in me, whatever. So they go and they're like, we're going to run some tests, and then we're going to do a CAT scan or an MRI. I don't know, where you sit in the little tube and then they take a picture of all your insides. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called a CAT scan. I love it when I can't remember what a thing is. I get like 5 DMs that are like, it's called a CAT scan, which I appreciate. And most of the time I'm like, what are they talking about? Oh, right, I did talk about that. So they wheelchair me down, which sucks. With the wheelchair is fine. I can't walk. I'm in a lot of pain, but it sucks going around the hospital. And I should have put on my eyelashes. The amount of hot dudes that are wandering around in their little EMT outfits, I was like, this is a fucking nightmare. At least with COVID, I couldn't go inside, so you didn't really see anybody. So at least when you looked like death, you weren't like, hey, hot man. Like, I thought about going back like a week later in like a prom dress with like, my makeup on and being like, hello, I'm the one with the kidney stones. Hello. But I thought that might make me look crazy. So we go down, we get the CAT scan, MRI, I don't know what it's called, where they take a picture of my insides. And then we go back up, and the doctor comes in, and this is so embarrassing. The doctor was like, so you have, it was urethra stones. Like I had a stone in my urethra, so it wasn't in my kidney yet, or it was out of my kidney. I don't know anatomy. You can text me that too. I have no idea. But they were like, that's what it is, and that's why there was so much blood in your pee. And I go, yeah, and also I started my period. And you could tell this guy had dealt with so many dumb people that day that he just went, sure. So, it's so embarrassing. Then he hands me the thing. He's like, we're going to keep giving you liquid fluids, and then we're going to give you some meds, and then we're going to send you on your way. And I was like, cool. So he gives me the packet. And the two things, it said, like, it was talking about what they found, and then at the bottom it said, and had a tampon in for some reason. So it dawns on me that I'm nowhere near starting my period, that it's just that I just shoved a tampon in a dry vagina thinking it was that, and really it was just kidney stones. And then I thought about trying to find the doctor and explain myself, but then I thought that I would just look more crazy or crazier, and it was just better to just let it be. Oh, man. So then I called Katie, my best friend, to let her know what was up, right? She obviously had long gone home. It was like 7 hours later. I call her to tell her what's going on. And I'm like, who won the Super Bowl? And she goes, the Patriots. The doctor's standing right there next to me because I don't have service, so I'm using their phone standing next to me. And I was like, that's literally the worst thing that's happened to me today. She goes, you have kidney stones. You're in the emergency room. I'm like, I really hate the fucking Patriots. I really hate the Patriots. Worst thing that happened to me that day. And then I had to go. I went on the road with this dude like 2 weeks later. That was a nightmare of a story all on its own. But it like turned into maybe a bladder infection. I don't know. It was just so painful, so uncomfortable. Thank God before I left, they gave me like bladder infection antibiotics. I hope there was some funny in that. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm doing in my life right now. I'm gonna take in my life right now. I don't know, guys. My brain, everything's just taking a lot out of me. I'm really grateful I get to do this though. Like I will say I am one lucky broad that I have the energy to at least sit down for an hour, no matter how much it takes out of me, and do this. So I hope it's fun and funny. I don't know. Last week I was really freaked out. I got a couple messages about my low energy, and I was like, yeah, I have COVID. Yeah, it's just really, this thing is really rough. And I'm really lucky. Oh God. And I'm so lucky at the amount of love around me. Jesus Christ. Like I knew I was loved, man, but I'm loved. Like people are willing to just do anything. Not like I'm like within reason. Obviously I'm not, but like I get at least 5 messages a day that are like, what can I bring you? What can I bring you? And truthfully, I'm fine. Like I have enough food. I have enough medicine. I got water. My rent is paid. Like I'm fine. I just need to feel better. That's all that I can focus on right now. That's what somebody also messaged me about my big rant on Facebook, was just like, hey, I know this really sucks, but focus on getting better. Don't focus on all the negative humans. And the girl who made that post, I have not responded to her, and I probably won't for a little while. Especially while I have a bubble in my throat. Can you hear it? No. Especially while I'm healing. It brings, and maybe afterwards. I talk about this so much in this podcast, and like I just don't have shitty people in my life anymore, or people that make me feel anything but amazing. Like if you don't make me feel like I'm magical, there is no room in my life for you. And because I am magical. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh, and I also talked to my buddy Monday, I want to say. No, Sunday? Saturday. This does not matter. Oh, Saturday, because it was before I got my test results back. And I was talking to him. And there's some, and we're working on some stuff career-wise, right? That has had to be put on hold because of this. And I was really worried that he was going to move on and go, choose someone else. And he assured me that no. I mean, it's some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline. I'll tell you about it when I'm able to. But stay tuned. It's very exciting. It's a like maybe dream coming true shit. And I'm very, very excited. Like my dreams. But he was just like, no, we're waiting. And the only thing that you need to do right now is get better. And he asked me, because I was rushing through talking to him, right? I was just like so needing him to know I was okay and I was going to be fine. And like, I'm going to work through this. And like, today I have these 3 things I'm going to do, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to shower and I'm going to be fine. I'm going to da, 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 da. And he's like, hey, Kim Kral, what is the hurry? What's the rush, Kim Kral? And at first I like kind of snapped. I was like, I'm just tired of feeling this way. And he said it so much more eloquently and beautifully, but like, basically it was just like God, or, he said God, I say universe. Don't let that word throw you off from the message. But he was just like, God is putting this in your life for a reason, making you slow down. Instead of trying to rush through it, maybe stop and pause and look at what he's asking to slow down. So for me, it's like, what is the universe asking me to slow down and look at? And he was, and this man who is a mentor, a dear friend, and becomes someone very special to me, just said, you don't want to come out of this the same person. So take your time. And then he told a couple of stories of in his life when he got seriously injured or ill, and he's like me, like, go. Let's, what's on the next thing? I always want to be busy. I got to do this. And it forced him to slow down, and it forced him to take it one inch at a time, everything, just one tiny step at a time. And that reminder was just so fucking powerful. Like, what the fuck is the rush? My city is shut down. My state is shut down. The country's about to be shut down. A lot of people are getting sick. A lot of people are dying. I'm one of the lucky ones that, yeah, I get to have the long-term one that seems like it will go on forever, but I'm not on a ventilator and I'm not dead. So let's pause and be grateful for this. I also, I'm going to get a little serious some more. Today it's December 8th when I'm recording this, and today is the 2-year anniversary of one of my dearest friends hanging herself. My friend Anna Lan committed suicide 2 years ago, and I was reflecting on her this morning. And I was talking about my regrets, right? And I was like talking about weeks leading up to it, she had reached out to me a lot about trying to get help, therapy help, and was trying to find a therapist. And I had text messaged her, and about, I wrote her back, and but that was our last conversation. So it was about how she needed to get into therapy and how she was trying this new career path. And we were like, it was like, oh, you're going to do great at that. And like, it was, and I also know that she's one of my dearest friends, one of the saddest people I'd ever met. And sometimes she was hard to be around when she drank too much. And that was one of her things, that she was trying to quit drinking. A massive comedian took her to an AA meeting one time. This woman had just the ability to just be friends with everybody, but also alienate everybody at the same time. She, I loved this woman so much. We went to Big Fire, which is a comedy festival in the desert. It's basically Burning Man for comedians. And we went, and we're driving there, and she's like, I just want to have a beer. And I'm like, you can't have a beer. Oh my God, my legs are numb. What is happening? I'm like, you can't have a beer while I'm on the freeway. And she used to always do that. Like, she's like, I'm not going to not drink like some loser, Kim. And I'm like, I'm not drinking. And she's like, we would fight so much. And the last couple of months of her life, I pulled away a little bit because, her drinking had gotten to a point where it was always a scene, always yelling, always, and which I grappled with and regret for a long time about if I was there for her more, which you can say that all you want, but. And then I also got to the point where it was like, Anna was one of the saddest people I'd ever met in my whole life, and giving her the dignity to end things the way she wanted to. And that's not easy to say, but maybe that's the only way I'm able to have peace with it. So this morning I was talking about my regrets with her, and I don't have any, I loved that girl. I loved that girl so much. At her funeral, I was lucky enough to be one of like 2 friends that was invited to the actual funeral. And then at the Hollywood Cemetery, Hollywood Forever Cemetery, was one of the few, like maybe like 3 or 4 friends in LA that was like lucky enough to be invited to the actual funeral. And then there was a wake or whatever afterwards. And so I went up to her brother and her cousin, who were 2 people that were her like favorite human beings on the planet. I never met them, but I'd heard a bunch about them. And when they told me this, I might cry right now. It was so, and I knew it was going to be like, it was fucked up when I heard it, but I was like, God, in a couple of years, it's going to mean so much to me. I went up to both separately. And was like, hi, I'm Kim. I just wanted, to offer my condolences. Anna was one of my best friends. And the brother and the cousin both said this. They said, you're Kim Kral. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, Anna was your biggest fan. She loved you so much. And today marks her 2 years. And it breaks my heart that she felt that alone. But I talk to her all the time. She was one of a kind, and one of those people that if she loved you, man, she fucking loved you. And she was my biggest fan. She called me a loser a lot, made fun of me all the time. I remember one time we were walking, and this is such a grim story. I don't even know if it's that funny, but I thought it was so fucking funny. We were walking And she had known everything about me, or so I thought, right? And we were walking to this open mic, and she just had this wild energy about her. And I was like, well, and I made a dad showering with my dad joke, right? Well, if you shower with your dad until you're like 12 or 13, you're going to have some issues, like something like that, right? And she goes, whoa, what? And I was like, oh, you don't know that? She goes, no, you can't just spring that shit on someone. We're just walking down the goddamn street and you tell me I showered with your dad? I gotta sit. She's sad. She lit a cigarette and she's like, Jesus Christ, Kim Kral. And we laughed and we laughed. And she had that ability to that's a grim fucking thing, right? Like that's a grim memory and a grim thing to spring on someone. But we laughed so fucking hard at it. And another time we were driving, I had introduced her to my buddy and his wife. And my buddy and his wife at the time, they didn't have the best diet, and they smoked a lot of marijuana. They didn't smell great, right? They just didn't smell great. They were aware of it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not trying to put them down. I love them dearly. Her, she blows. But so we're driving in the car, and they're in the front seat, and me and Anna are in the back. And Anna goes. She goes, man, Kim, I love your friends. Thank you so much for inviting me and introducing me to them. They're so great. I mean, they smell like barn animals, but they're awesome. And I was like, Anna, you can't say that shit. God, I miss her. God, I miss her every day. And that's the thing. Like I was writing this morning about regrets with her, and I was like, truthfully, I don't have any regrets with her. We had a very honest, at times, ugly relationship. By ugly, I mean we fought, man. We fought. But it was honest, it was real, and it was loving. And man, that woman loved me. And I loved that woman. And I know she's here still, looking out on everybody. I know that I don't talk about that stuff very often, but I know that she's with me in everything I do. And I was like, I don't have any regrets. The thing that Anna taught me is to be more present and grateful in my relationships now. And to take more pictures. Anna and I have 2 pictures with each other. We spent a lot of time together and never took any pictures. A lot of time together. But I'm one. Can I do 2? I'm one great. Yeah, I can. I do whatever I want. I'm Kim Kral in this Kral space. I'm one lucky broad that I got to have Anna in my life, even for just a little while. And she's here with me and everything I do, and she was my biggest fan, and that was special. Are we ready for some poop scoop booty? I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a song. I feel like someone emailed me a couple of ideas. I don't know. I'm also not a singer, but I did sing the theme song to this, and I feel like I'm pretty proud of it. I don't know. Sometimes when I think about that, I sang the theme song to my own show. I think it's so funny. So Poop Scoop, this isn't mine, but I do this Saturday night Zoom, and I have with these people that I have for, I don't know, we did it a lot during the beginning of the pandemic when we were on lockdown, and now we started back up again. And I didn't really know most of these people, and now and it's funny, a lot of them I've never even met in person, and I can't wait until I meet them in person when, the world finds its new normal. And so we're talking about, oh shit, that's my cousin. Speaking of, I will call her back. I'm almost done. I wonder if you heard that. Well, this is, I don't know how to, I know how to edit it out, but I promised you I'd never edit anything out. So we're talking about different tastes, I guess. Somehow this brought up that cheese and chocolate taste really good together. They were talking about, so this guy who I guess I've met him before. Every time I say I've never met him, he goes, I've met you 45 times. And I'm like, sorry, buddy. But he was like, I'll try it. And then they were like, oh, actually use Kraft singles. And for some reason, this dude had Kraft singles in his home. And this other guy on the thing was like, you have government cheese. And then everyone's like, yeah, that's what you call it. Government cheese. Because it's not real cheese. Oh, fuck. She's calling me again. Oh, good. Okay. No, she tried to FaceTime me. Okay. I love it when people do that, when you don't answer the first time and they're like, oh, I'll just call and call and call. I've done it before too, but it's just, maybe I'll just text her real quick and just tell her hold on. I'm just going to text her, which this is, maybe I should just pause this. call in a minute. Okay. So, sorry about that. So government cheese. Apparently you can't even call Kraft Singles cheese. It's called cheese product. How fucked up is that? I'm not eating anything that's called what it should be plus product, right? Like they legally can't call it cheese because it's not cheese. Anyway, he wraps chocolate around it and eats it. And he's like, it's all right, and he explains it. And we're all like, why do you have Kraft Singles in your home? Like no one has Kraft Singles at their home. And oh man, I just got really dizzy. Jesus Christ, you guys, this thing is a nightmare. So then like a few minutes later, he disappears for a while. Like 20 minutes later, he disappears for a while. Dude shit his pants. He shit his pants. And he texts one of the people on the Zoom and was like, hey, I just shit my pants. I'll be right back. And he's home. He was just sitting there and he goes, and he kept just yelling, I over farted. I just thought I had to fart. And then so he sharted, but he like really pooped his pants. And he's like a bachelor, so he has no idea, I guess, what to do with his pooped pants. I don't know. Maybe I've pooped my pants enough in my lifetime that I know what to do. He just like put it on his floor in his room and was like, I'll just deal with that later. Like what you do, I was like, what I would probably do is tell all of you that I threw everything away. And then really I would just rinse it out and wash it and keep it. Because that's what I did with my cargo pants a couple years ago. It was probably 15 years ago when cargo pants were popular. I pooped those and then I lied to everyone and said that I threw them out and just bought new ones. Really, I just washed them and then lied. Just lived a lie for a long time until cargo shorts were out of style. I wish that they were still back in style. Those were cute. But that's the poop scoop. Man, it's not mine. I mean, I haven't pooped in 5 days. That's another fun thing, I guess. I have my COVID is I am constipated. Oh, that's a lie. I induced poop yesterday by doing this little concoction in the morning, but it was not satisfying. And then we're back to not pooping again today. So send love to my bowels. Somebody I would love to poop. I'd kill to just feel better. So then that night, we took a picture on the Zoom, and one of the women who I've never met but has become a friend of mine through these Zooms posted a picture and had cut me out of the picture, right? And like cut me out of the picture, and I saw it, and then she had cut 2 other people out too, and I was like, that's really weird. And then I like text one of the guys that they text out, and I was just like, ha ha ha, that's really funny. And he's like, what? That's really weird. And then it dawned on me, one of the things that COVID has given me is that like it's shifted my perspective so much. I think before COVID, that would have really hurt my feelings. Like I would have needed to know. I would have said something. I would have DM'd her. I would have been like, why did you cut me out? Were you embarrassed? Like I would have really taken that personally. And my other friend messaged and she was like, yeah, that's so weird she did that. Like kind of like testing the water to see if I was okay. And I was just like, yeah, none of it's personal. None of it's personal. I mean, I was like, I'm sure the woman had her reasons. And if it was personal, it's still not fucking personal. I'm just learning, like, none of it is personal. I don't know if that resonates with any of you. But, like, in life, I'm learning that, like, if someone doesn't like you, like the girl who posted the big long thing about how she's healthy and that's why she hasn't gotten COVID, that's not personal. I took it personally. That's not personal. The woman who was like, are you wearing a mask? Were you wearing a mask when you got COVID? That's not personal. None of it's fucking personal. And it's all so short. It's so short. Like, there are people that have COVID, got sick, got a little better, then died. I could still die. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't think I will. I feel like I'm almost out of the woods. I'm turning a corner. The days are still not great, but they're not as bad. But it's just brought, like, I could die. I could die tomorrow. And before COVID, I could have died tomorrow. But now it's just like mortality is like, this thing has killed like 1.5 million people, 7 million people. I actually don't know how many people it's killed. I think it's 1.5. I should look it up. But it's killed a lot of the world. And like, it's just shifted my perspective. None of it's personal. What's meant for you will be. You know what I mean? Like, even the dude who dumped me a couple of weeks ago, that's not personal. Even if he was like, ooh, that girl's gross, still not personal. None of it is. I don't know. And I'm grateful and one lucky broad that I have friends in my life, like my buddy who is just like go into COVID and get something out of it. And I'm getting something out of it. Most importantly, I'm getting the message loud and clear that I need to take care of myself and rest. Just rest. I'm having a really hard time with that, especially as the days run on. I just have all these to-dos that I want to do so bad, and none of them are that important. Like, I want to vacuum my living room and put up my Christmas tree. And I just don't have the physical capacity to do that right now. And to be kind, just be so kind to myself about it. I have a virus that has taken out a lot of people. So I can read and watch TV, and I got a bunch of fun movie recommendations, and I'm rewatching Veronica Mars while I sleep, and it's just all so wonderful. And I've got so much fucking support around me. So much. I mean, just like a crazy amount of support every day. My friend's bringing me homemade chicken soup tomorrow. And the other lesson is I'm leaning into the love. Like before ACA, I wouldn't do that. Before ACA, I'm so grateful for that program while I have COVID, because otherwise, God, who knows where I would be. I mean, I was going to go to watch the Super Bowl while I couldn't stand up and was puking from pain. That's how low my self-worth was. And now I went to the ER. As soon as someone was like, yeah, you need to go to the ER, I was like, oh, I want to live. I like myself now. And I'm leaning into the love. I would not have expected all or accepted all of this love before. And I'm just saying thank you. Yes, and thank you. My friend sent me a meal yesterday. My other friend's sending me soup tomorrow. Yes, and thank you. Just lean into the love. I'm really, really grateful. That's the show. Hopefully my energy was a little bit more up this week. I don't know. I'm going to not make apologies for that. I am where I'm at. I hope everyone's out there being safe. Please wear a mask. Just wear a mask. Man, you look dumb. You wear a seatbelt, don't you? Jesus, my father wouldn't wear a seatbelt because of his rights. How stupid is that? He's dead now. So, the seatbelt thing didn't kill him. But still, he's like, they infringe on my rights. That's so crazy to me. Just wear a goddamn seatbelt. Got to the point where I was like, dude, I'm not driving you in my car if you don't put on your seatbelt. Like, in your own life, whatever, but if I get in a car accident and you die because you didn't wear a seatbelt, I have to carry that the rest of my life. So crazy. So crazy. That's for another day, I suppose. I did it. I did another crawl space. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Send me your poop scoops and send me your I'm One Lucky Broads, or just check in and say hi. You can email me at KYMKRALSPACE@gmail.com. That's KimKralspace@gmail.com. Follow me on all the socials, KYMKRAL, Kim Kral. If you get a second, please leave me a review. I have not read reviews in the last couple of weeks. I'm just getting my bearings back, guys. I will. I got a couple new ones, so I want you to know you leaving these reviews, especially right now while I'm so sick, has brightened my day so much. Do you hear that? I'm guilting you into leaving me reviews. But yeah, if you like what you hear, leave a rating, review. It does so much for the podcast getting out there. And it means so much to me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the love. Thank you. Oh, and sidebar, I quit smoking 4 years ago yesterday. So that is awesome. I posted a whole thing on Facebook if you're struggling, or on Instagram if you're struggling with quitting smoking. I have a couple of tips in there. So take a look at that. And I will be back next week, or I'll be dead. Just kidding. That's a terrible way to end. That's a bad joke. I am continually getting better, and I appreciate all the love and support. And if you have COVID and you feel alone or afraid, I'm slow to getting back to my DMs, but I am slowly getting back to them. Please reach out to vent or talk or anything. This thing is kind of lonely, man. And the only way I got through it was with support and love from my friends and family. So thank you. I will talk to you next week. Have a good week. Bye.
Crawl space, crawl